Digby Fox takes us through the action from day 2 of the 2019 Star Sailors League Brezze Grand Slam and Star European Championships.
Danish duo Schoenherr and Gravad created drama on the start line, smashing in on port. The right was again the favoured side under the mountains. Negri and Clean drag racing to the finish against Caillard and Lopez. The Italian-German duo showing their hunger to win. 95 Stars Clean off the start line is a majestic sight. Kuzniewicz and Mello won the battle upwind with time to wave at the drone on the final upwind leg. An amazing performance by the Polish-Portuguese duo. Race officer Giancarlo Cravatin stuck with his plan to bank another race, the 5th of the championship. This time Americans Doyle and Feliz getting squeezed at the pin, then rolled by Grael and Trusch from Brazil. On that favoured Garda shoreline, Negri and Clean again showed their form. But it was Loof and Fatih, the Swedish-American duo, who came out on top ahead of Doyle and Infeliz in the tightest pack we've seen so far. Olympic gold.
Sail numbers, bow number 5, Torvar Murski, former match racing world champion, and to me he won the start in the middle of the line, and he wants to show what he's made of here, and he wants to compete with the very best, and great start by him.
Well, Torvar Murski is an invitee. He's a VIP. He was asked to come and see if he fancied having a go at racing in the Star at the Europeans. He's match racing world champ in 2017, and that was in the M32 catamaran. So this is a very, very different discipline for Torvar, sailing with experienced crewman Ian Coleman, a great far 40 sailor. So looking now at 59, Fabian McGowan. Away they go, poking their nose ahead. Bow 13 was looking there in the mix. Roberto Benamati and Alberto Ambrosini. But after 4 races, they will be able to discard their worst result.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you certainly don't want to be using up your discard early in the season, in the series, and especially if you know that you're going fast, you're confident, you're strong. You don't need to push it so hard on the start line, and maybe they just got a little bit over eager and perhaps even got their timing wrong. It could have been any one of a number of things, but it's certainly something that you want to
in Belize.
Yeah, the boats now on the left have overlaid the mark. Their mainsails are eased, their jibs are out, and it's going to be Eric Doyle and his crew Peyton Feliz who lead around this top mark. So a little bit of a mistake from Scheidt and Kuzniewicz overlaying the mark, and Doyle and Feliz have a pretty handy lead of 3 or 4 lengths. So but ominously Paul Caillard in second, just locking in his form here after the first race. So and Robert Scheidt in third, and as we said before, Diggers, Robert Scheidt 3 boat lengths behind you, going around the windward mark onto a downwind leg. In my mind, Robert Scheidt could almost be joined first there because he's so fast.
Croatian team just coming around behind Scheidt, Marin Mizura, Tonko Barak, and there's 94 Alexei Zhivatovsky and Lev Schneer from Russia, having a blinder of a second race. Freddie Loof, Brian Fatih rounding that mark just ahead of Manu Hens and Just Hululing, forgive my pronunciation, and then Ant Razmilovic, Brian Hammersley around and coming through.
Eric Doyle to leeward, closest to us, and then Scheidt.
Well, it was a cool backdrop in Lake Garda. The contrast of, the bright sails and dark mountainsides. Wonderful scenes at the SSL Brezze Grand Slam. Still windy, some 14 knots at the top mark, and we are looking down the barrel towards Paul Caillard and Arthur Lopez. Bow number 1. They came second in the first race, and here they are, some 9 meters ahead of Scheid and Björning in race number 2. So this is a champagne day for Paul Kayard, who celebrates his 60th on Sunday, the big Super Sunday, which is when we will go into the quarters, semis and finals, and that top 10 cut-off that they are all aiming for. But so far, so good for Paul Kayard and Arthur Lopez.
Yeah, just looking here now, I don't have the windward mark in my sights to try and see where it is relative to the sailors, but I suspect, oh yes, it's coming up here now.
Oh, around they go. Okay, so slightly confusing. I think we are just going to go with the visuals. That is the top mark. Round they go. They've moved and set a different one. Very, very tight at the top. And Kayard managing to stay ahead of the other two, who are both bearing down on him, heading downwind. Scheid and Björning taking a right-hand course, looking down. As Kuzniewicz and Melo head round that top, ahead of Marin and Tonko, Missouri, and they are just ahead of Freddie Loof and Brian Fati, the Swedish-American duo right there. Shirley, super tight around the top by the front 3.
Very exciting, Digby. Very exciting. It was a lot shorter, that leg, than the first leg. And obviously they've moved the mark slightly further over, 15 degrees further over. But